My name is James Williams Jr., and I want to touch upon some shit that's on the news currently, and it's on social media, and where I stand. As an uncle of some great kids, you know, I'm going to have to say this because I also support animals. Animals were here before us, and they'll be here after us. After we screw the world up entirely, they'll be what will gain what's left of what we do to this place. I'm highly upset about the death of the gorilla. No, I can't pronounce the gorilla's name. No, I don't give a damn what the gorilla's name is. I just know that I'm upset that they killed the damn gorilla. All right, let me drop something to you. Cause in Virginia, we got some serious ass child neglect laws. You know, leave your car in the kid. Leave your kid in the car too long, you got trouble. Leave the kid in the car with the windows down, you still got trouble. It's the same thing with the damn dog if you leave the dog in the car too long. Now, where in the hell is it a good idea to blink when you go to a zoo? Yeah, that's right, I said blink. Kids are unpredictable. And animals are unpredictable too. Alright? And those two together are not a great combination. And most of the time they have fences that kids can't really get over. When I was a kid and we went to I think it was the Washington Zoo. I don't even remember if Richmond has a zoo, but I know that they had a zoo. And I had to go there because it was like a field trip and we didn't really have an option of opting the fuck out. Monkeys threw crap at us. And cages had tops and stuff on them so that you could like walk around them and look, but they couldn't come through the cage. And the little environmental square or whatever, you walk around and you can see all these things. And when I was a kid, one time we went to King's Dominion. I don't know if King's Dominion in Richmond still has this, but they had like the safari thing where you got in like the bus or the train or some kind of tram and you rode around in an enclosed thing like you would like if you were in Jurassic Park. And you got to see the animals and their natural inhabitants. So everybody wants to know, do we blame the gorilla or do we blame the parent? We blame the fucking parent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the cussing. I'm sorry if you guys don't like it. I don't really give a crap if the lady doesn't get any time or if she gets a slap on the wrist. I'm sure the incident was pretty much a bloody wake-up call so that she knows to be more mindful of her child. And I also heard in the news that she runs a daycare center. You're not watching my kid. But luckily for her, I don't have any kids. But here's the thing. Alright, a couple of weeks back, I went to go see Captain America Winter Soldier. And I'm sure you're thinking, hey James, you were talking about a fucking gorilla. What does that have to do with anything? Shut up. I'm going to tell you what happens and why it has to deal with this right now. So, as I was saying about the Captain America the Winter Soldier, there were kids the first time I went to go see it because I took the wrong hour to go to a movie. I should have took the early show, but I didn't know that it was playing the day before because my ass was at work. Which if I would have known then, that night that I got off, I would have went straight to the Stonefield movie theater here in Charlottesville, Virginia, and went to go see Captain America because kids would have been at home. It was a school night. Alright? Yeah. Go to the movies on school nights because there's no kids there. Now, why am I talking about Captain America and the gorilla? Okay, so the first night I went to go see Captain America, these arms are the two little kids that were responsible. Now, there were two other kids, but when I got out, I kind of found out that they had some mental issues. They had ADHD, and they were bipolar. And with all respect to those two little kids, because they were both a black and white child, I don't know who was taking care of them, but the lady I bought my shirt from explained everything to me. So, those two kids get a free pass because they had a little mental disorder that can't be helped. So they were running up and down the steps beside me, which is a distraction in itself because of my military and my kung fu training. My ears are always listening for the attacking person to come up behind me. Alright, I'm sorry, that's that. They were running back and forth, and their guardian or whoever was watching them, clearly she just couldn't catch up with those little fuckers. But the other two kids, their parents were somewhere behind me. You see this cane? Oh, yeah, I'm stripping. Yeah, I'm stripping. I showed you this before. I'll show you this again. This is why I can't find a really good seat in the theater, because walking up steps is a bitch. And you're thinking, what does that have to do with the gorilla, James? Okay, I'm going to tell you what it has to do with the gorilla. Kids are a lifetime responsibility. Not a liability, but a responsibility. Clearly, she wasn't being responsible. And clearly, the gorilla lost his life. I seem to remember there was a thing about a lion and a doctor or a dentist who went on safari and shot. His name was Cecil. Now we got two animals in 1 year that died for nothing. They shot the gorilla and they said that the trank would take too long. Well, that depends on where you shoot the damn trank and how many you use. Anybody who can tell you, I don't know shit about tranks. That is true. But I also know that if a human is tranked, it don't take but maybe 3 to 5 minutes for that shit to go into effect. It also depends on the human's index and body mass. If the person like my size, I'm about like $120. If that, maybe 5 minutes. It also depends on what the situation was current. Because adrenaline, believe it or not, adrenaline actually helps you burn it through your system faster than letting it take place. So I understand when they say that the trank probably would have taken too long because of all the yelling that all the humans was doing was only making the adrenaline of the gorilla pump up. So yeah, they probably would have been right about the trank taking too long because everybody's excited, everybody's hollering and screaming, and animals get excited and have adrenaline too, which is only going to keep the animal pumping the blood faster, which would have probably wound up killing the boy. However, they could have had a distraction team come in to the gorilla cage as well. There's always an option if you have the brave souls willing to do so. Now let's rewind. What the hell was the kid doing in there in the first place? What in the hell? Where were the groundskeepers? So the mom's not the only one at fault here. The groundskeepers. When I was younger, there was a groundskeeper close to the environment or actually in the environment. It just depended on the animal. Now granted, a gorilla is like 5 times stronger than a human being. So, of course, seeing it drag that kid around was very much cause for suspicion that he very well may have killed the kid. But this has happened before with gorillas where they have actually protected a kid that had fallen into one of these things. Not at that zoo, but it was in the news before too. And they didn't kill that gorilla. They tranked him, but they didn't kill it. I don't even think they tranked him. I know that the gorilla was protecting it from all the other gorillas in there because it was like the king of that environment. And all the other gorillas were thinking they were going to have a little kid for lunch. But this gorilla was a badass and it protected the kid. That gorilla was just curious. It lost its life for being curious. And it wouldn't have been curious if the kid wouldn't have took a 15-foot drop into a big old ditch. Now, we're all mad as hell that this gorilla has been killed. I'm extremely mad that animals are being killed. If you're not going to eat it, you don't need to kill it. I don't know what gorilla meat tastes like, by the way. But, let's put responsibility where it belongs. They're all a tiny bit responsible. But the mother and the gorilla is an animal that can think and do things, but it doesn't have a level of communication. So we consider animals that don't have a level of communication stupid or dumb. Now, evolution has blessed human and Cro-Magnon man and Neanderthal man to become us. Where we have an iota of thought at a process of as fast as you can blink, you can think. Well, clearly, she blinked and wasn't thinking that her child could get into the enclosure. I just said at the beginning of this video, kids and animals are unpredictable. You can't tell what somebody's going to do from the next minute to the next minute because you can't read their minds. Your name is not Charles Xavier, so you don't know what the hell is going to happen. Would be great if you could, though. That kid was like, what, 4? 5? Clearly, this person has never spanked him or disciplined him and taught him right from wrong. So I'm going to say that the mother is completely at fault. One, my mom would have whooped my ass the second that I reached for that fence where that gorilla was at. Not only my mom, but my dad. And the old man that would have been beside us, who would have probably either been my grandfather or my neighbor, he probably would have beat my ass before they did. Because back then, we could get ass whoopings. And now everybody's all soft. They can't beat people because they're special. Yeah, that explains how he got in the gorilla cage. Because nobody could beat them. And no one looked to see where the hell he was at. Cecil's a whole nother matter that I'm not going to get into because it's only going to get everybody upset. Because Cecil the lion had been in that reserve forever and nobody even told the damn dentist, yo, don't shoot Cecil. Which one's Cecil? He's a lion. Everybody knows that all animals tend to look alike when you're in a hunt. It's not always the truth, but that's what people use as their excuse. Same thing with all black people look alike, all Asian people look alike, and all white people look alike. So we all have that one thing in common. We all believe that everybody looks alike. So I'm going to close out about this, but I'm strongly saying that the mother was at fault. I don't know what color she is. I don't care. It ain't about her color. It's about her lack of responsibility for letting her child get in the enclosure to begin with. Who the hell does that? No, you're a horrible parent. I'm not even a parent, but I'm an uncle, and I watch everybody's kids on this block, whether they kin to me or not. I ain't gonna let nobody kid on Rougemont get into something that they can't get out of. If I'm there, they're out of it. It's not gonna be a problem. And it's not because I'm a nice guy. It's because there's a time to do the right thing, and whenever somebody's gonna hurt a kid, your job as an adult is to catch a bullet. And I ain't mean literally, but I mean, you don't want to see nobody's kid get hurt. Nobody. But in that same breath with that incident, the kid had no business being there. He's 4. He still had no business being there. At 4, I knew right from wrong. I also knew how to read. Wasn't real good at it, but I knew how to read. And the concept of this kid being at the right place at the wrong time, that doesn't float with me. Because he was at the right place at the wrong time. But where the hell was the parents? Shit didn't have to happen. Gorillas don't have to be dead. But now that it is, it's over and done. I'm angry. I'm sure other people are angry. Especially the people that just had to watch this after watching the other 4 videos that I've done. I'm James Williams Jr. Skunk Forever 2. I'm Audi 5000.